Joining me live for more on this, Lowy Institute Senior Fellow for East Asia, Richard McGregor. Thanks very much for your time. So, we don't know exactly what will come out of this. There's still a big question on whether lethal aid, so-called lethal aid, will be offered by China. At the very least, it seems though they'll be offering more economic assistance and maybe non-lethal aid. So it's assistance of some sort to Russia. Is that the assumption here?
Well, as you say, we don't really know whether China will become a major supplier of arms or ammunition to Russia. Certainly, China is already supplying an economic lifeline to Russia through, imports of raw materials, oil, gas, coal, and the like. China is Russia's most important partner, and for Russia, China has become even more and more important. Russia is, in effect, dependent on China these days and likely to remain so.
So what does that put the prism in terms of these talks, the lens we put on these, I guess, that this is Putin not quite begging Xi Jinping, but saying, please, we need lethal aid, back me here. Don't push this peace plan unless it's the peace plan I'm trying to push, the so-called peace plan. I mean, how much leverage does Russia have anymore?
I think Russia's got quite a deal of leverage. China really can't tell Russia what to do. But if you're asking about what prism to look through this, the best prism, as your correspondent referred to, this is, two permanent members of the UN Security Council, two nuclear powers, two countries with, in effect, leader for life. And their big motivation for getting together so closely, particularly after Russia invaded Ukraine, which obviously has put China in a terrible position. Their principal objective is to maintain an anti-US front. They want to diminish the role of the US in the world. They want to diminish US leverage over them, and that's why they're getting together now.
And to that end, whilst China's pushing the so-called peace plan, is it happy to watch on as NATO gets tested, the West gets tested, ammunitions are used up, perhaps even will is used up as well over this invasion?
Well, Ukraine's been terrible for China. It's effectively severely damaged their diplomatic position in Europe. It's hurt them with the US and the like. China suffers when oil prices go up, when sort of grain prices go up. So it's not a good thing for them. But I don't think they want Putin to lose. They don't want Putin and Putin's Russia to collapse because they're an extremely valuable partner. If there should be a conflict in Asia, then China will be calling on Russia then. So they're sort of sucking it up, if you like. They're trying to reposition themselves a little bit as an honest broker. I wouldn't really call what they put forward a peace plan. It's more a statement of diplomatic principles. But they're trying to, reposition themselves as a player. And after this trip, I think Xi will talk to Ukraine's President, Mr Zelensky, for the first time. So China's trying to use this to sort of get out of the hole it's been forced to dig itself in as a result of the invasion.
Well, and that's a really interesting situation, isn't it? Do you think there's any element of that being, a legitimate talk where China listens and then mulls over what to do, or is this window dressing?
Well, in the big picture, it's window dressing, but China wants to be, manage its position now. It also wants to be ready for when the war does end. It doesn't want to be completely alienated from Europe. Remember, Europe is probably the most important swing factor in the contest between the US and China. The Chinese have not given up on Europe. Then it comes to Ukraine. Ukraine actually was an important partner for China previously for many reasons, and China was quite heavily invested in Ukraine. And then there's what inevitably will be the rebuilding of Ukraine, and China wants to be there for that. China doesn't want to put all its eggs in the Russia basket. It sort of looks like that at the moment. But the bottom line is they will not abandon Russia, and Xi will not abandon Putin because they've got too much interest in staying aligned.
Richard, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.